Thank you for choosing the SNL Fan Podcast. I'm your host, just some guy named Jay. And what we'll be doing in this edition of the SNL Podcast, we'll be reviewing the Justin Bieber episode that appeared on February 9th. But before I get into that, I want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to the Giant Blast. The Giant Blast is one of the largest email blast distribution lists on the web today, with over 100,000 email accounts subscribed. Not only is it a large email blast newsletter for entertainment, they also do marketing and promotions for rising indie bands and singers. So if you're looking to get your music heard by a broader audience, you should definitely check out the Giant Blast. Also, if you have a product to sell or a service to provide, using an email blast is a great way to create awareness and increase revenue for that product and for your service. So definitely check out the Giant Blast. And Justin Bieber, it's said that he got started pretty much putting out his music on YouTube, before he was, I guess, discovered by Usher. He's putting things out on YouTube and Twitter and became a sensation that way. So some of you out there might be the next Justin. Some of you out there actually listening to this could be the next Justin Bieber. And if you think you might be, you should definitely check out the Giant Blast. They can better market your music, your YouTube videos, really get it out there, get it that push, get it some more views, get more listeners, get more hits. So if you definitely have some good music and you think you could be the next Justin Bieber or the female version of Justin Bieber, and you have some hot music out there, definitely look into doing business with the Giant Blast. They could definitely get you out there and get more viewers. All right, now let me get into this review. Now, before I even actually talk about the episode, I want to talk about my thoughts before he actually hosted. Now, I've been noticing something. Every time there's a musical guest, or somebody that's the host and musical guest, or somebody who primarily does music, they often do very well on SNL, or they do, I was thinking maybe our expectations are so low that when they do okay, that we just accept it. But actually, that's not true. They do extremely well, like Britney Spears, Katy Perry, Ludacris, Queen Latifah, Justin Bieber. Justin Timberlake. So pardon me for that. Justin Timberlake is like the gold standard for hosting right now. People almost want to compare him to like Alec Baldwin in them. And even some of them that weren't that good, like maybe, I'm saying Tim McGraw was good. Even Mick Jagger did his thing. And Bruno, by the time Bruno Mars was asked to host, a lot of people were thinking like, oh, he's not going to do good. But he knocked it out of the park. Bruno Mars had one of the best episodes this season. So then especially me, I was thinking, well, dang, every time a musical person hosts, every time a singer hosts or a band or something, they do good. Since the 80s. I don't know about a couple of them in the 70s that doubled as both or was a musical person. But, definitely, I say in the mid-80s, after the Dick Ebersole years, of course. It just seems like that musical people do good on SNL. So when they brought in Adam Levine, I was thinking, well, he's going to do good, because look, he does music. Everybody that's been doing music has been doing good, so he can't screw this up. And then I saw the Adam Levine episode, and he didn't do too well. And so I was thinking, okay, well, maybe Adam Levine, and even though Adam Levine wasn't that good, he wasn't that bad either. He did, I guess, a little better than some actors that even get a chance to host that kind of suck, or that just, or politicians or athletes that don't do too well. But Adam Levine just kind of, I guess, I guess the musical winning streak is over. But you know what I said? Well, maybe that was just him. Maybe it was just Adam Levine. And so when they said Justin Bieber was going to host, I was like, okay, Justin Bieber's going to do well because he appeared in the I guess one of Andy Samberg's digital shorts. He didn't have much to say, but he did good doing it. And plus, I remember he was in that skit with Tina Fey when Tina Fey was the teacher or whatnot, and Justin Bieber, he didn't he didn't do too bad. Even though he didn't have much to do. So I was thinking, okay, and then you check out some of the behind the scenes YouTube videos, like the one he did with Jay Pharaoh, and even though he's just pretty much cueing Jay Pharaoh to do his impersonations, I was thinking he'd be natural, he'd do great. So he let me down too. So I guess this thing about musical guests, musical people hosting SNL just automatically doing good. I guess enough of them do well, but but Adam Levine and Justin Bieber, they kind of and I'm gonna break down the Justin Bieber thing too. Not that Justin Bieber was awful, not that he was anything like that, but it wasn't a Bruno Mars episode. All right, so the cold opening, the Super Bowl. It was funny, how they picked the situation about the lights, the electricity situation. That was the cold openings have been just great, and I think this season has the best cold openings that I can think of. I think I guess back in 2008 during that election season they had some great cold openings. Some classic ones like Tina Fey playing Sarah Palin and things like that. But yeah, they've been on a hot streak with these cold openings this season, in my opinion. The monologue, Justin Bieber, it was okay. It was okay. I kind of when he said he was gonna mix Valentine's Day and Black History Month, even though they both in the same month, of course. Black History Month is, February. I was thinking that they were going to have some kind of black celebrity in the audience, and I was right. Whoopi Goldberg, and I guess you got to have like a historical, black figure. Whoopi Goldberg is a, I guess she's kind of an icon, So I guess to have her in there was, you couldn't just have just any old black celebrity, and then pull that off. You had to, have somebody like Whoopi Goldberg. I'm surprised Whoopi Goldberg has never hosted. She should have. In the mid '80s, she had a big booming career. I don't understand how come she. I mean, I'm pretty sure they would have asked her. She has improv experience and things like that, and she's funny, and she can do all different kind of characters and voices. So I'm surprised that that she hasn't done it. I think Whoopi Goldberg back in the '80s probably would have been a good cast member. You know what I'm saying? In the early '80s, Well, I know Eddie Murphy was in the cast, but I mean, still, I'm shocked that Whoopi Goldberg has not. The Californians don't like it. You know how I feel about the Californians and how I feel about Fred Armisen. Justin Bieber, it was a good little addition having him playing the little surfer guy. Can't really hate on that. Now, one of the highlights of this episode was the Bieber doubles. They had the different doubles. And Bieber kind of making fun of himself. One of the highlights of that skit with when Justin Bieber said, "Some of them are black. Nobody's gonna fall for that." And then Jason Sudeikis said, "Hey, you're not." Well, no, he said, "You're not gonna. They're not fooling anybody." And he said, "You ain't fooling anybody either, homeboy." that was good. It was a good little jab. I mean, it's good to have hosts that can pick it themselves, And then the little dance offs with the Biebers was good. Ellen did Kate McKinnon coming out as Ellen DeGeneres, that was another good little highlight. And then the way she danced out, man, that she needs to be in those dancing skits with Taran Killam, where how they dance and do the little French thing, the little French little thing that Taran Killam does. Ellen DeGeneres Kate McKinnon needs to be a part of that. Like, she needs to do those wild Ellen DeGeneres up in the air type dances like that. That dance alone was hilarious. Let's see, moving right along. Bravo is getting out of hand with all these reality shows. That was funny how they picked at that. Like I said, I don't judge the musical, performances. Weekend update, I pretty much liked it. Seth Meyers did his thing. I always keep telling myself I'm going to make notes and talk about certain jokes he does but I never do that. I get lazy, But nobody wants to hear me really ramble on about, each kind of individual joke that Seth Meyers does. Is either he did well or he was in the between or he didn't do well, And I'm kind of used to Seth Meyers doing Weekend Update, but they really do need a change, If he does it another season, that needs to be his final season for real. If this is not his final season, next season should definitely be his. It's getting like okay, I'm getting kind of bored with it. They need to spice it up. Speaking of stuff they need that I'm bored with, Fred Armisen and Vanessa Bayer doing the best friends thing. They should have did it maybe two times and left.